So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Galaxy A52 versus iPhone SE speed test. Now, we did the full comparison, but some of you wanted to see the speed test. So let's see how they do in a performance round. 3, 2, 1, we'll begin with this boot up test. Now, the Galaxy A52 does feature a Snapdragon 732G in the one I have. Some of them come with a 720, and I think the 5G version will come with a 750G. It does have Snapdragon though. It does have 6 gigs of RAM. This one over here, Apple A13 Bionic chipset coupled with 3 gigs of RAM, and the iPhone SE does boot up faster than the Galaxy A52. Looks like by a substantial margin, but remember, this is a flagship phone. Processor inside here, this is definitely more of a budget processor in here. It's still a pretty good one, but yes, booting up far faster than the Galaxy A52. I mean, ridiculously so. So I'm gonna speed it up until it does get to the actual home screen of this phone. And one thing I will say about the A52 is that this is probably the slowest process of the phone. Once it gets booted up and warmed up, it does seem to perform just fine for day-to-day functions. So we are finally in. So you can see a massive difference in the boot up time for the iPhone SE 2020. Okay guys, so when it comes to the biometrics, both of them do have fingerprint sensors. Over here on the right, we do have it in display. On the left, we do have it hardware based. And I find that the SE is quicker pretty much every time when it comes to the unlock, but it's not by a major amount. And Samsung did place that fingerprint sensor a little bit lower on the A52, you can see, than you'll find on the S series. It just comes down, do you want it in display or do you want it physical? I will say the SE is a little bit quicker here. Now, the Galaxy A52 also has a face unlock. So if I look at the phone, it should recognize me and go right in. So one more time. So there you go. So you do have a face unlock. It's pretty snappy as well, as long as you're looking at it properly, not on weird angles or nothing like that. It should be pretty quick. All right, guys, so we've arrived at the app test between both of these. You can see everything closed out on both. Let's head into Instagram, and you can see Instagram opened first there for the SE. Notifications seem to load up first on the A52. We'll head up out of here. We'll go into Twitter, and you could see iPhone SE loaded Twitter up first as well. Let's go into profile. We'll go to profile here. And that was quicker for the A52. We'll head up out of here and we'll go into Amazon. Now you'll see Amazon is first there for the Galaxy or for the iPhone SE. And let's go to fashion really quickly. You'll see iPhone SE, but what you should notice here is that how well the Galaxy A52 is performing next to this flagship processor and these day-to-day applications. The eBay was slightly to the SE. We'll go into YouTube and we'll go here to the Explore tabs. We'll go over here into trending and you'll see SE just a little bit quicker, not a big deal. A difference, we'll go into Starbucks. I was gonna say Subway, Starbucks. You can see Galaxy A52 quicker there on that application. We'll go into Groupon and you can see Groupon faster there for the SE. We'll go to categories, quicker there on the A52. So some things will be a little bit faster on the A52. Even over the flagship processor SE. We'll go into ESPN and you'll see this loads faster here for the iPhone SE. We'll go to scores and you can see quicker there again, but not by so much. We'll go into Mortal Kombat and this is where I expect the SE to rip through this game, but we'll see how the A52 does here as well. It's been pretty surprising how well these budget phones have been performing now that they're getting a lot better than they used to be. So we'll see how the A52 catches up here. It's not going to beat it out, but we'll see how far it does go. So you'll see the iPhone SE was in the clear lead here for sure. Definitely ahead, but it's not like you can't play either game. You could play it on either phone. But yeah, we got to give that win there to the SE. Definitely quicker there. So we'll go into PUBG Mobile and see which one could get to the home screen first. Again, I think it's going to be the SE. This phone is just a little bit more powerful than the Galaxy A52, but the A52 says maybe me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes here. Wow, that was actually pretty close so far. And iPhone SE getting a little bit of a jump. Not by much. We'll hit continue here. And we'll hit continue here. So we had this little, pop up before we got there, but the SE was on its way to victory. So I will say the SE is the winner here in terms of loading up PUBG. We just had all that stuff in the beginning. We'll hit start match, see which one can match up first. But the A52 was respectable. I mean, it didn't take super long to load up either. So very good for what you're paying for that phone, I would say. You're not paying like $1,000 for that phone, but you're not paying much for the SE as well. So pretty good on both of them, I would say. Let's go into Temple Run, but you might have much longer battery life when playing those games on the A52, so do keep that in mind. And Temple Run, easy game, loads up pretty much similar on both phones. We'll go into Crossy Road, and you'll see Crossy Road does perform a little bit quicker here on the SE. It looks like, yes, slightly. See, but it's pretty cool how you can play these games pretty efficiently and smoothly, even on this cheaper A52. Let's go into Premiere Rush. And during a video edit, the iPhone SE will crush this phone over here. But just on a load, you'll see that the iPhone SE is also a little bit quicker. We'll go into Geekbench 5, and you'll see SE loads that up faster. And we'll go into Wildlife, and SE loads that up a little bit faster as well. So it's pretty conclusive here. The SE does load up most applications faster and the games a little bit quicker. The processor in here is what you're paying for, and you kind of seen it here throughout this episode, or throughout this application test right here. So definitely pick this if you want the faster performance in applications day to day. All right guys, so let's go through the RAM management to see if they do reload anything. So they both have the first couple apps open. Pretty good so far. We'll go to Crossy Road, and the iPhone SE is starting to reload here. And Crossy Road, we'll go into Temple Run, and a little chop there for the A52. One thing I noticed about the PUBG is reopening here for the SE. One thing I noticed about the iPhone SE though is that sometimes it will reload apps, sometimes it'll hold more. It really just kind of depends. I've noticed that. But over here on the Galaxy A52, what I've noticed, okay, so we're having a little chop there. This did have this, is that the animation going home looks a little choppy compared to more flagship Samsung. So that's one area where you noticed what you paid. This looks like a kind of a reload there for the, you'll see it right there, just a little bit choppy, not a big deal, but just a little bit. So we'll go into Starbucks here, and the SE had that. All right, so let's head into YouTube, and they both had that one. We'll go into eBay, and eBay reloads there for Galaxy A52. Amazon, pretty much, actually, it looked like the iPhone SE had that. Twitter, yeah, they're starting to reload. So these things are definitely not, these are definitely not phones that are gonna be the best in RAM management, as you've seen right here. Neither of these are 12 gigs of RAM. We have 6 here on a budget processor as well for the A52, and then over here we have 3 gigs of RAM on a flagship processor, but 3 gigs of RAM is not a lot. So both this iPhone SE and this A52 will reload quite a few apps if you have a ton of them open. So do keep in mind, you're not paying for a top dog multitasking performance like you will on a more premium phone between these two. All right guys, so let's do a quick browser test. We're gonna go to apple.com on both of these in 3, 2, 1, see which one could open that up first. You've seen the SE much faster. This does have a 5G model though, so you might get better mobile performance if you get the 5G A52. But in terms of browser performance, the 90 Hertz definitely helps out here. It feels pretty smooth, actually very smooth for a budget device. The iPhone SE, you can still see a little bit of that chop with that 60 Hertz, but the actual performance is strong all the time due to that powerful processor. Now, we're gonna go to Samsung.com here. All right, so let's go to Samsung.com here on both of these devices in 3, 2, 1. And you'll see Samsung.com loads first on the iPhone SE over the Galaxy A52. So definitely, again, you got that fast scrolling on Android over here. And with the 90 Hertz, again, it doesn't look really laggy at all. Over here, that smooth scrolling, 60 Hertz, but still, I would say Galaxy A52 pretty good for its price. iPhone SE, what you expect with that Apple A13, does very well in browsing. All right guys, so the final Geekbench scores are in, and the SE single core almost matches that of the multi-core of the A52. And this is where I have to say the iPhone SE walks all over the A52, and that's in the processor performance. Now, The A52, get this phone if you want the value. You want the screen, you want, you don't care about having a plastic back, you want the modern looks, you want the fun cameras, you can live with a little bit of slowness on certain applications, because this phone right here is not going to impress you in performance like this one will for the money. This one is going to be like, okay, this is acceptable, this is all right, I got myself a 90 hertz display, I can work with this. But you're not going to be blown away with its speed. Whereas with the SE, you're going to be like, wow, this is pretty quick. For $399, I basically got the flagship iPhone speed. So definitely this one is the quicker phone overall. So let me know which one you would pick down below in the comment section of this video. And if you want to see more speed tests like this, let me know as well. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. I will catch you all in the next episode. Be sure to be well and peace.